Ever seen a driver blow in the bag? It's getting to be a far more familiar sight than it used to be. Over 2,000 drivers are breathalyzed every week. Look at this chap. Had a marvellous time. Didn't think for 1 second. Now I'm not fit to drive. Then he makes a stupid mistake. Didn't think he'd ever be stopped and have to blow in the bag. We didn't consider himself a criminal. He'd only had a couple of drinks. But he'll lose his license. And unfortunately, his wife can't drive. But he was one of the lucky ones. Last December, a quarter of all the drivers killed were known to be over the limit. Last year, there were nearly 40,000 convictions. Make sure you're not added to this year's total. Drinking and driving. It's just not worth it.
When a drunken driver gets his license back...
How much?
His insurance can often double.
What, for third party?
Disqualified. Drinking and driving.
He'll find it expensive wherever he goes.
It's more than I paid for the motor.
And the real joke is, although he's allowed to drive...
What's the best start to do, pal?
Can he afford to?
I'll do you a favour. I'll buy the motor off you.
Most of us reckon we can handle our motors after a few pints. Take it easy and you don't attract the law. But what if some stupid git does this? Or this? Or this? Those few points will just cost you your licence. So who's the stupid git now?
Right, I'm off then.
Forget the car when you go for a drink, and you can also forget the well-meant advice.
Are you sure you're okay to drive?
Forget the self-denial.
No thanks, mate. I'm driving.
You can even forget being a free taxi service.
Just a favour. Give us a lift, mate.
But most important, you can forget this. So if you really want to enjoy a drink, remember, when you fancy a jar, forget the car.
Before you say you'll never get hurt. Well, every single day, hundreds of people say it can't happen to me, but it does. And the difference between an ugly smash-up and just a nasty shake-up could be simply the seatbelt habit. So before any of us say it can't happen to me, snap into that seatbelt habit. You know it makes sense.
If you imagine this is your car, then this is a motorcycle. Now, when you drive up to a main road, it's easy to see other cars. But because a motorcycle is a third of the width of a car, he's very hard to see. But he's dead easy to hurt. Nasty. And that's why, at junctions, I'm asking you to give a second thought for bikes. Stop. Think once for cars, hold it, then think again for bikes. If you want to avoid this, think once, think twice, think bike.
Diamonds are for danger. The diamond sign means a dangerous load. Look out for the diamond signs. They all mean danger. If there's an accident, when you see the diamond sign, keep away. Go to the nearest phone and dial 999. There might be an explosion or fumes that could kill you. Diamonds are for danger. Keep away.
That's Vicky. This is my dad. That's my sister. This is my mum. And my nan. She always waits there. She worries when we're not all home. Mum and Dad worry when I am. Mind you don't burn yourself. Dry yourself properly. You'll ruin your eyes. And every Saturday morning when me and Mum go shopping, my nan always tells me to look out for the traffic. Me! It's Mum she should be telling. When she wants to get to the shop opposite, she just takes off. She doesn't bother with the crossing. We've been told at school not to go between parked cars, but to use the crossings. And my mum says that's quite right when you're young. At home there's all that sit up and eat up, otherwise you won't grow up to be big and strong and healthy. And outside, where there are cars and lorries and buses wagging past, my mum should be wearing L-plates crossing the road. Good job she doesn't drive. My dad does, and he's very careful, but he doesn't always practice what he preaches. Me and him had been up in the park Sunday morning. Then he remembered we hadn't bought a car. I started walking to the subway, and he tells me to make us late for our dinner. It's very funny how grown-ups can always be right, even when they're wrong. Now, if anybody had tried that when he'd been driving, he'd have done his nut. The best, though, was when I was with Mum. Me and her were on our way home after getting me more shoes. Anyway, we have to cross the road, and she didn't even see the car coming. She was about to tell the driver what she thought about him, and he was out the car to do the same. And you know who he was? My dad! In our new car. We could have all finished up as mincemeat. And you tell me how they would have explained that to my nan.
Not so long ago, people with traffic problems usually found a quick answer. But today's drivers need to keep a cooler head. Do you leave enough space when following other vehicles? And if another car fills the gap, do you drop back? If you don't, this sort of thing can happen. Remember, keep your distance.
Love, as if I haven't got enough to do. All these blooming doors to cope with. Like getting to Trip Point Charlie round these corridors.
You want to wedge them open, Ada. Hang about. I've got one here, haven't I? There you go.
Oh, Terry, you are a good boy. That's better. I'll remember you in my will. Isn't it,
Old Ada's cracking on about them fire doors again. They ought to leave them open all the time. It's stupid, isn't it? You coming in?
If there should be a fire where you work, the quickest way to make it spread is to wedge open a fire door. Fire doors prevent fire spreading, and they're a barrier against suffocating fumes and smoke, giving you enough time to escape to safety. Never wedge open a fire door, never lock them shut. Fire doors can save lives. Yours may be.
You know, each of those cars carries a whole family. Yes, even him. He's probably got a wife and kids, depending on his arriving home safely. What are his chances? That much less if he doesn't snap into his seatbelt. There can be some pretty frightening results from accidents where people don't wear their seatbelts, and they don't have to be fatal. After all, what's a family with mum or dad laid up in hospital? I know that if you wear a seatbelt, you reduce your chances of being killed or seriously injured by half. So what I'm getting at is this. If you won't belt up for yourselves, then please do it for them, because your seatbelt is their security. And I'm going to be around for quite a while punching that message across. Right, here's my first problem. The driver who takes all the trouble in the world to put a seatbelt on for a long drive along the motorway, but doesn't bother for just popping round the corner, because it's that popping round the corner drive that's the most dangerous, just when you think it's not worth belting up. Think about this one. Over 60% of all traffic accidents happen in built-up areas. So let's get into that seatbelt habit. And let's make it automatic as closing the car door. After all, you wouldn't drive off without hearing this, would you? The clank of the car door closing. Right, let's add another sound. The click of a seatbelt being fastened. Clunk, click. That makes sound sense, doesn't it? Never clunk without your click. You know, we could become a nation of clunk clickers. Is it all worth it? Well, if it's not for you, surely it is for them. Remember, this seatbelt is their security. See you, clunk clicker.
Just look at them. They must be crackers. A double-decker bus could be right on top of them and they'd never even see it. Hey! You must be out of your tiny minds. When you cross the road, always use the green cross code. Keep your wits about you and keep looking and listening. Great. See you, girls. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
You know, you should use a pedestrian crossing. You should look right, look left, look right again, and then, if all's clear, proceed with caution.
Oh, thank you very much, Gaffer.
I say, Chappie, where do you think you're off to?
Well, it's my crossing when I put my foot on it, and you're supposed to stop.
Oh, one of those, are you? Yes. Well, I know something about this. Let me see, what is it? Yes, yes.
Yeah, you gotta look, Daddy-O, like you gotta make with the people.
Of course. So there.
But you're supposed to proceed with caution when approaching a crossing. Thank you. That's just what I was going to say.
Eh? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And you're not supposed to dawdle. You've got to get along. Yahoo!
Quite. You see?
Ha! Come along, missus. Don't dawdle. Oh, what are you doing? No, young man, my frozen peas. No, what about me peas?
But seriously, folks, everyone should use the crossings properly. See you.
Come back here. I tell you what, if you go on like that, you could be in big trouble. Now look, when you get to the curb, stop, okay? Make sure the road is absolutely clear. That's part of the green cross code. Now let's see you do it properly. That's better. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
A tragic, needless accident. But why did it happen? The driver checks the traffic on his right, the road seems to be clear, and he pulls out. But if we look again from the driver's angle, we can see his problem. Visibility isn't good, but if only he'd checked again, he would have seen the motorcyclist approaching. That car driver will be more careful next time. For the motorcyclist, there isn't going to be a next time. So motorists, be particularly careful at junctions. Think once, think twice, think bike.
Every morning the same. This bus will get her there on time. The next one, 5 minutes late. And time seems to be so important. Hundreds of people are killed or injured each year running for buses, just to save a few minutes. It's not worth the risk.
This evening, young Billy Blunders has borrowed the keys to the family car. He's looking forward to an exciting night out, and he's got every confidence in his driving ability, which is more than his dad has.
What does he mean he's gonna put his foot down? I'll show him what putting your foot down means. Stupid. What? Hello? Me Dandros back again. Hold up. Me luck will be in here.
Hello, love. Clear off.
Oh, well, can't win them all. I know. I wonder what that little Karen's doing tonight.
You could meet Billy Blunders on your way home from work. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Billy Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click. Meet Mr. Blunders. Off to work, and as usual, lots on his mind. The sort of chap you could bump into at any time.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, how can anyone spend that amount of money? What does she do with it? Must be sending food parcels to her mother. Petrol. Let's get some petrol. Oh, no. I've just remembered her mother's coming this weekend. Blooming women, who needs them? Ah, dear, I say.
You might meet Mr. Blunders on your way to the shops. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Mr. Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click. Today, Mrs. Blunders is off to the shops. So naturally, she's got a lot on her mind. After all, she mustn't forget anything.
What about a nice bit of fish with white sauce? Oh, no, we had fish yesterday. Oh, dear. Oh, look, Wilson's have got a sale. That reminds me. I must phone the vet. Spaghetti with Brussels sprouts. No, I'll go to the butcher's first. Oh, bother, they're closed. Well, it'll just have to be fish. You'll never notice.
You might meet Mrs. Blunders driving down the high street. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Mrs. Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click.
Pelican Crossing. The light's green. Carry on, Jones.
Don't panic! Captain Manning, the light's flashing. What do we do?
One continues to cross. If one's already on the crossing, there's plenty of time. Precisely. Carry on, Jones. One shouldn't start. One shouldn't start to cross.
That's wrecking, Wilson. That's wrecking.
The flashing green man means don't start to cross the road. Learn your blinking pelican signals.
It's the Pelican Crossing. When the red man's on, pedestrians wait, cause drivers may go, is what the green light states. Just press the button and you soon learn. The green man's on and it's your turn. And when the green man's flashing and the amber too, this is what you gotta do. Pedestrians don't start to cross. Your life's more important than the time that's lost. And drivers, just you listen here. Only go ahead when the crossing's clear. When you walk and when you drive, obey the Pelican and stay alive. Learn how to use the Pelican Crossing.
Shut your eyes, Tester Napoleon. Can't you see the lights are changed?
The flashing amber light on the Pelican Crossing means you can only go if the crossing's clear, Miss Rogers.
Well, I'll soon clear it, all right.
You're not meant to edge forward and harass the pedestrians.
Who says so, the vicar?
Actually, sir, no. I say so.
Oh.
The flashing amber light means don't go unless the crossing's clear. Learn your blinking pelican signals.
Someone watching this program is going to be burgled tonight. Who? Where? When? There's no way of knowing until it happens. But when it does, you could be the first to know. Remember, if it opens, lock it. Lock it. Lock it.
Not everyone in a supermarket is there to shop. At least, not from the shelves. Make sure your purse is out of sight. Don't make it easy for the thief. Watch out for your purse before someone else does.